All right, what's up, everyone? This is the watch list video for Thursday, November 7th. A quick heads up, which I didn't realize earlier in the week, somebody pointed out FOMC decision tomorrow. So that's something to be aware of. It's not usually on Thursday, it's usually a Wednesday. Maybe they bumped it back for Election Day. I'm not sure, but let me throw this over real quick. New folks in chat, pause the video and read that, please. I would argue most of you have probably read that already. So not my favorite scenario when the overall market gaps up so big, right? And so I would argue that honestly, as a team, we did a good job of being patient, right, and waiting for setups because I'm not going to chase. And let's go to 5-minute candles here. Just zoom in on today. So and think about it. If you bought the open, and I know we don't trade SPY, but if you bought the open, you may have been selling down here, buying back up here when you think it's going to break, and then going, whoops, I screwed up selling, right? And then you kind of get the cup and handle and the slow breakout. And it's not something I do, but my point is, after the gap up, a lot of things were coming back down. And so I think we did a good job of just waiting for A+ setups, right? So let's just look at them, a few of them real quick. LUMN sold off early, and then I identified this early as one of the stronger stocks out there, and the daily was looking good. It was breaking out on the daily, so I called it right about here. Let me do it again. Right, you've got the 8 and the 20 on 5-minute candles. 5's buy zone right in the middle of that. That's what I called it over the mic. 5's buy zone idea. Somewhere around 827. Worst case stop would have been below the red line. So I mean, maybe 15 cents, 20 cents risk. And it went to 920. And you really never underwater on things. So that was a good example of waiting, identifying a strong stock, and then playing a buy zone pullback, right? Some late day calls too. Let me show a couple here. Let's go SGMO, which I just wanted to point this out. I mentioned early that it topped out at 225, and that the most recent high on the chart was 230. And that, when I say that, I mean on the daily chart, right? There was the most recent high, 230. So we know we're topping out at 225 intraday. I can probably take that extended hours off. So the thesis was it breaks the quarter, probably going to break through that recent high of 230. So that's what we call a catalyst just above on the daily. And it went all the way to 256. Pretty low risk trade there if anyone took that. The 225 break actually happened right there. So again, you weren't chasing, you were waiting for the A+ setup, get the 225 break, and I don't think you were ever underwater on that one either. I gave a late day idea on Hood even. Just a yellow line play, right? Look at that. And I mentioned that 29.50-ish. It's not a huge trade, but it was a strong stock and a clean pullback to the yellow line. If you got long there, I don't know, you got like a 50-cent move maybe without ever coming close to stopping out. Amazon, I gave a late idea right there at 204.50. I actually typed out that price in the chat room, right near our green line, right? And if you got that, probably 50 cents risk. So 204.50 got filled right there where my cursor is, and it ended up going up about $3 from there, $3.05. So some neat little trades that allowed you to just wait and not do anything, and let them set up. Again, when the overall market's gapping, it can make day trades, you get FOMO, right? And I kept saying, don't get FOMO. Let's let these setups happen. And that's exactly what happened. So I had a good day. I mean, obviously, you can look at a lot of stocks and say, oh, I just wish I'd have grabbed it early. But we got to have, if you're a day trader, you got to have A+ setups so you know where your trigger, your entry is, you know where your stop is, right? And then you can just let it play out. So anyway, there's a few examples. One thing I want to say is 2 nights ago, my son came over. He wanted to watch the Chiefs game. We had some chicken wings, pizza, and the Chiefs game ended up going till he was here till after midnight because they went into overtime. So that put me back on sleep. And then last night was election night, and I don't know too many people who got a lot of sleep last night. So I'm dead ass tired. So I'm going to try to get a good night's sleep tonight and be hyper focused tomorrow. Tomorrow, We've got the big market gap up out of the way, and now we can start looking for individual setups again. All right, so with that all said, and let me just rip through. And it wasn't that fun making a list because everything ran today, right? So it wasn't that fun making a list. But LUMN, you had the breakout today. A lot of these are extended, but a lot of times, if you're a day trader, you can still get a nice follow-through setup the next day. So LUMN, I went ahead through Intel on watch. It's trying to break out. You get this big island down here. It's trying to break up into, it's into the gap fill area. So we're going to watch INTC. SMR, one of those nuclear plays that actually is getting close to recent highs. So that could be a stat catalyst scenario tomorrow with a good setup. Mobileye, MBLY. I liked the daily chart coming in. Topped out at 1601, so maybe a play through 16 tomorrow if it sets up intraday. Could get this going. Want to throw a couple Bitcoin-related plays because Bitcoin's on fire. So Riot, I threw on watch, and Coin. Those are two. Also just huge moves. Could have a follow-through day. And really need to be on watch for the next week. Hood, you could throw into the Bitcoin space also. Tesla, big breakout today. Could have a follow-through day tomorrow. PLTR. This one I went back and forth on whether or not to put it on the list because now you've got 2 big days in a row. So it absolutely feels like chasing. So the caveat on that one is I'd like to see it pull in for a day or two. But I'll have it on a chart tomorrow. NVIDIA breaking out to new recent highs here. That might be. I think this is new all-time. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, I believe NVIDIA's hit new all-time highs. So it could have a continuation day tomorrow. Amazon, big breakout today over that 200 level. Also could have a follow-through day. RVLV, nice breakout today on earnings. And then I threw Lyft on watch. So not a huge list. Lyft is already kind of breaking out on the daily, but the real reason I'm watching it had earnings after hours. As I'm talking to you, it's trading at $17.16. So big gap up probably tomorrow if it's gapping. It goes on the gap playlist, and hopefully some of you show up in the pre-market, help me build a list of gappers to add to this list. I'm done babbling. I'm going to get a good night's sleep tonight, and I'll see you guys in chat.